Look, I found a toy they can all play with. Here's something they can all play with, my tripod. Hey, not the fingers, not the fingers. While that's filling up, I'll have a quick chit chat and answer a question for you. So a commenter was asking about, aren't I worried that Pearl will come back into heat at some point and end up getting bred by Tex, which is her father? And yeah, that's always a concern for every farmer and rancher. But what we have to do is kind of calculate, well, number one, you keep an eye on them, because before they come into full heat, he'll start acting differently around her. Number two, you also know there's a time frame, and that's about 60 to 90 days after they give birth before they can start kind of resuming their cycles. And so it's not been that long. It's only been just a couple of weeks with baby Jolene there. And so I am not concerned about her coming into heat anytime soon. But what you do is just watch your cows. You just watch them. You watch their behavior. And when you start seeing Tex start, now, this is going to probably not come across right, but when, you know, your bull will sniff all of the cows, the heifers, on a daily basis. And that's just kind of what they do. But you don't let that bother you, that you just know that's part of animal behavior. And that's the same with every mammal. Well, maybe not every mammal, but for most mammals. But what you have to do is you start watching when they start spending time with that particular heifer and following them around and you know, sniffing, you know, for too long. And then that is exactly what you have to be aware of. And so it's not uncommon at all to see Tex walk around and sniff on all of the females, and that'd be the same for any cow. So if you did notice that in a particular video, just know that that actually happens every day and multiple times throughout the day. And that would be on any farm or any ranch, and that's with many kinds of mammals. Good morning, folks. Lester here. I'm coming out this morning on a July 4th weekend with my bleach and my scrub brush. I'm making my way over here to the galvanized water trough that the cows drink out of. Let me spin my camera around. So I'm trying to work quietly. I don't want to have everybody come running up. That's been the habit as of late. They get excited when I show up because that means feed. And I don't want to feed this early in the morning, but I did come out to clean up their water a little bit. A lot of people are going to wonder why I haven't put an automatic water filler on there. And it's really twofold. Number one, this galvanized water trough, guys, it's different than plastic. That metal can heat up. And the warmer your water gets, the faster it allows that green stuff to grow and just kind of contaminate your water. So we try to avoid that by cleaning it every couple of days. And to clean it, it's easier if it's not full of water. The cows drink so much water, they can actually drink it about halfway down overnight. And what makes it easy for me is now I can come over here and just tip it over. There at I'm a Survivor, with the automatic water fillers, it keeps it all the way full. But if you want to come clean it, then you have to take your bucket and scoop and scoop and scoop to get it down low enough to be able to tip it. And so that's one reason. But reason number two is probably the bigger reason. You know that brute, aka Tex, he's a kid at heart, and he likes to play with stuff, guys. He likes to play with stuff. And my biggest fear is that he's going to come over here playing around with that water filler, end up knocking it off onto the ground. Water will sit there and run all night, and that could risk burning up the pump to the well. And we would not want that. You burn that motor up, burn that pump up, and you're looking at a very expensive and time, who knows how fast the guys get here to work on it. And that would leave us with no water. And that would not be good. You can't really rely on your secondary water source right now with the way the drought's, going, and with no water. Our pond is just holding very little water, and I bet you that over there is probably as stagnant as this over here can become if it's not cleaned up and changed out regularly. Talking about Tex and what a silly little boy. Look at what he's done. You all know how much he likes to play with stuff. He has 4 barrels. He has 4 blue barrels that I've, put out across the pasture. Well, there's one that he's knocked off into the crevice of the pond. There's a second one up there by the barn where he's finally got tired of playing with that one. Barrel number 3 is cute. I know you can barely see it from here, but if you look, I'm going to zoom in as far as my phone will go. He's pushed that one all the way over the hill, down to that little dip there beside the fence line that goes across to Pat and David's property. And then barrel number 4, guys, I have no idea. I can't find it anywhere. So he's taking that 4th barrel, and it'll come up. It'll come across. I don't know where we're gonna find it, but I don't see it from here, which is funny. So anyway, my job this morning is get the water cleaned up a little bit. I got my bleach and my scrub brush, and I'm gonna give these guys some fresh water for when the day heats up and they're gonna want some. Oh darn it, here comes Dixie, and that means Beverly, and that means before long I'm gonna have all these guys crowded around wondering where their food's at. So let me hurry. And it has begun. I'm not gonna feed y'all yet. It's too early to feed. I have no intention of feeding you guys. Sheesh. All right, I'll feed you. Come on, guys. Y'all give me a couple of minutes. I was gonna scrub this out first. Look how easy this thing scrubs with bleach. You put a little bleach to the bottom of it and it scrubs up nice and easy. And, but I don't have time for that now. Let me go feed these beasts. Y'all want to eat? Come on, let's go eat. Well, all of our barns looking good. All of our gates are still propped open like we had worked on, so that's a good sign. I'm still oh, well, guess what? I have found our 4th barrel. I have found our 4th barrel. Walk right around the side of the barn here and looky there. There's our 4th barrel. So as far as my stalls go, they're working out okay. I'll just say they're working out okay. I had no intention of using the stalls every time I want to feed. Baby, your foot is stuck. Her foot's not stuck. She's just resting it there in that other food trough. But I only was going to use the stalls when I feel like I needed to put them into a stall. I was trying to get them used to going into the stalls, so that would be a part of their routine. Because just like in teaching, consistency is key. My friends, I can't stress that enough. You have to just kind of sometimes emphasize certain points. That with farm animals, the same way as with, when I was teaching school, that consistency is key. Once your kids, or in this case your animals, learn your routine, you have to try to stick to that. And the stall idea is a work in progress. I'll just say it's a work in progress. The babies have not learned which stall is theirs. They still just kind of let the horses set the lead and put everything in motion, and wherever the horse is, which means horse and donkey, wherever they go is kind of where everyone else ends up having to find their place. And today it's just kind of all jumbled up. It's a jumbled up mess is what it is. It's a jumbled up mess. The important thing is that everyone has food. There's no one going hungry. No one's going without. It's just not exactly how I envisioned it. Look, Tex has a friend. It's not exactly how I envisioned it, but it is what it is. So Pearl's looking good. I was worried about her for a while, but she's eating good. She's starting to fill back out. And Jolene's doing great. Jolene is real cute. All right. That's a job well done. They will really appreciate this. Now, a lot of folks are going to say, Lester, you're so dumb. Why don't you use the drain plug? Guys, it takes 30 minutes to drain that using the drain plug. And then you still have that much water at the bottom of it. So don't think I haven't used the drain plug plenty of times. But to me, it's a lot faster just to empty it out using a little elbow grease, doing a quick scrub down. and then refill every couple of days. And it's some work on me, but I'll tell you what, they certainly appreciate it. So then you're going to follow up that question and say, so Lester, what are you going to do when that happens? What are you going to do? Lester, you can't take her off to be bred while she's still nursing Jolene. And no, I have a solution to that. Remember the other pasture that's adjacent here? You flip my camera around. Just ignore that. That pasture. I know. Lester, that's heavy wood. You can't run a cow in there. Yes, you can, because there's a lot of grass around the edges, and that extends all the way from behind the ostrich pasture over here, all the way down to the road, all across the front side, all across the back side. And the beauty of it is that Longhorns actually forage a lot more than most cows do. Whereas most cows only want to graze along the grass, Longhorns are known for being amazing foragers. They'll also eat all kinds of foliage and be able to sustain themselves on it, whereas most cows won't. So when that day does happen that I notice Tex showing her more attention, I'll just simply take Pearl and lead her across into the adjacent pasture and let her and Jolene run around with the goats for, I don't know, 2 weeks until all of that passes. And then we'll be good to go for another month or so. It's a lot of work, but it's your hobby, guys. It's fun, and it's something that you enjoy managing. Doesn't that look delicious? All right, so this here has become the most difficult part of my day, and something that I never really thought about until recently. Guys, it's time to feed up. Now, I don't feed the goats very much because they don't need much grain. You already know that whole story about overfeeding of grains and all the problems we've had because of it. So I'm gonna feed the goats a minimal bit of grain, have all they need out in them woods. But these babies over here, who are all also little beggars, they do need their food. They need quite a bit of it. And so it's really hard to get over here and feed the ostriches without the goats coming over and just harassing them for food, especially the 3 babies. So I have not been able to figure out a system yet. Today, I'm gonna take the goat food and pour it out over here over the fence, along the ground. I know, along the ground, yes, they'll eat along the ground. And I'm hoping that while they're eating, I can run over here, take the ostriches into the far pasture. Once they follow me in, I can close the gate behind them. But I'm gonna tell you right now, my fear is that whenever the goats realize what I'm doing, because they're smart, they're gonna haul ass over and beat me over there, because they're gonna be, in fact, faster than I am. Yeah, that right there, my friends, did not work out very well at all. As long as the ostrich babies will hold their own and not just run away from the goats, they're at least getting some nutrition. What I would like, though, is if I can get the ostriches, at least the babies come over here on this side and eat. They could have, eat in peace. Baby, you scared me. Oh, you need some water? Okay. See, then the goats start doing stupid stuff like that. And then the ostriches don't know what's going on, so they begin to walk away. There you go, Tat. Show them where to go, buddy. Show them where to go. No, Tat, you walked right past your food trough. Tat, look up. Tat, look to the right. Tat, you walked right past your food trough, you big... Oh. You ever just wake up and wonder how you got there? Like, you just kind of wake up and just wonder, like, what has my life become? And how did I get here? Yeah, I do that sometimes. So the last thing I'm going to say about this is the fact that many people will question and say, Lester, what's it going to matter? What's it going to matter if the goats want to sit there and eat on the ostrich pellets? Well, the ostrich mix, the mealworms, the crumbles, the alfalfa pellets. What's it going to really matter? But my worry with that is that they're going to begin to start sitting here around the barn, sitting here in this pasture all day long, knowing that I will feed them every day. And they will not be going off into the woods to graze and forage like they're supposed to. So you might say, what's the big deal? But the big deal is that they're going to end up filling their bellies, what little bellies they have, with all of this kind of stuff, which is not meant for them. It's not made for them. They may like it, but you know, goats will eat anything. And once they fill their bellies with all of this, they're not going to go out there and fill their bellies with God's goodness, Mother Nature's, what she provides. And so that is the problem with what's happening right here. So I have one idea that might end up having to come to fruition, and that would be some type of a little gate on our doggy door. If I was to put a gate on our doggy door, what I could do is when I come to feed the goats, open this gate, walk in here, pour some feed along the ground, come over here and close the doggy door. Then go back up, walk on around with my ostrich food and put it all across the pastures here. The goats would be pretty much stuck in their area. And once they finish their food, they would be stuck out of here for a while. And then I'll have to come back and open this gate whenever I'm ready.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.